This video will show how to set up a publish profile to publish to an application server that is configured to allow HTTP publish. Some information is required before the profile can be created. The target server must be configured to allow the publish, and you must have a valid username and password for any user that is defined in the published data on that server. You must also have the URL to access the site. This is just the base URL that will be used to open an application on the server from a browser. Open the Web Project Profiles and select to add a new profile. On the next screen, select HTTP and click Next. Enter the desired URL. If the server uses SSL, the HTTPS protocol should be included in the URL. Otherwise, the system will add an appropriate protocol. If the server uses a port other than the standard port for the protocol, it should also be included. If you include a folder and page name, they will be removed by the system. In this example, we will use localhost. Once you've entered a URL, click the test URL to see if a server exists at that address. If you get an error, the error may give information about the problem. In this particular case, this server is running on port 8080 rather than the standard 80. We add the port and we test again. This verifies that the server exists, but it does not check if the server is configured for HTTP publish. It just confirms that it exists. Next, we added a username and a password who can publish to that particular server. Once we've entered the user credentials, we can test the HTTP login to see if our credentials are correct. We could also attempt to open the target folder, which would also run the same validation test. If there is a problem, an error will come back indicating some information about this particular problem. In this particular case, the user we have entered does not exist on this particular server. So we try another username and password and try again, and this will show whether or not the authentication is valid. If the login validates, open the target folder. If the user can publish to WebRoot, you will get a text box into which you can add a folder or leave blank. You can leave the folder blank if you want to publish directly to the WebRoot, or you can enter a desired subfolder. If the login is restricted to specific folders, as it is in this case, select the folder from the drop-down and click OK. You've now completed the basic profile to publish to HTTP. After filling in all the data, select Finish and give the profile a name. After creating the profile can have additional information entered, such as connection strings or other information as desired. Once it is created, we can also test the login settings with a link on the actual published profile page, which goes out and does the same as we did in the configuration to verify that the credentials we have entered here, username and password and target folder, are all valid.